Less than 2 months to the Paris Olympics, where 5 American men will get their chance to compete on sport's biggest stage. Before that, though, the national championships, where Brody Malone, who just 15 months ago suffered a devastating knee injury, is back with a vengeance now. And last year's world all-around bronze medalist, Frederick Richard, a young star on the move, is making a statement of his own. Malone, Richard, and the best gymnasts in the nation take another step towards Paris tonight in Fort Worth. NBC Sports welcomes you to the 2024 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. Night number 2 for the men inside Dickies Arena here in Fort Worth, Texas. The scores will carry over. Tonight, you could win a national championship and take a major step on the path to making that Olympic team in Paris. The scores here will count tonight and from the upcoming Olympic trials to make up that 5-member team. Terry Gannon alongside the 1986 U.S. all-around champ, Tim Daggett. And Tim, this week here in Fort Worth, the legend of Brody Malone grows even larger. We got to know him in that lead up to the Tokyo Olympics. Grew up in a small town in Georgia, grew up competing in rodeo, won 2 straight U.S. all-around titles. But then in March of 2023, devastating knee injury, worked his way back, and a short time later, he's looking great here.
Yeah, unbelievable. I tell you that Brody Malone is here and leading the way. It is just shy of miraculous. He didn't know if his leg would be able to handle the stresses of gymnastics or if he'd have enough time to get ready. Many other athletes would have already tossed it in, but that is not in Brody's DNA. He doesn't just want to take part as well. He wants to come here. He said, I want to win. I want to go to the Olympic Games, and I want to win a medal, and I bet he wants gold.
Determined and maybe on his way to doing just that based on what we saw in the opening night. When he arrived at the arena earlier tonight, Zora Stevenson caught up with him.
Brody, Thursday was the first time you did an all-around in almost 2 years. How's the body feeling after all that?
A little bit sore today, but I'm ready to get going and get after it.
In the last 48 hours, what have you had to do rehab and recovery-wise to make sure you can compete tonight?
It's just been a lot of getting treatment from the athletic trainers here, stretching my knee, making sure I'm keeping up with my range of motion. I did a little bit of activation stuff yesterday to get my legs going. And then for the rest of my body, just kind of getting it moving, getting a sweat yesterday and to get ready for today.
Do you fill the hotel tub up with ice and get in it?
I do not like ice baths, so I don't do that. No.
You're going for a 3rd U.S. championship. What's on your mind, given what's at stake for you?
I'm just trying to approach it just like any other competition. As far as how I'm approaching it, it's a clean slate today. What I did on Thursday doesn't matter. I just got to come in, do my gymnastics, and let the scores speak for themselves.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
No ice bath, Tim. Draws the line there. Will not do that. And he is the leader heading into night number 2. To break down the standings even further, here's the 4-time U.S. all-around champ, John Roethlisberger. John?
Thanks, Terry. Yeah, it was only one night of 4 that will be used to pick this Olympic team. 2 nights here in Fort Worth at the U.S. Championships, and then 2 nights of the Olympic trials. And the goal for each of these athletes is to have at least 3 great nights of competition. Unfortunately, for many of them, night 1 here in Fort Worth was not pretty. Let's take a little deeper dive into these standings. And the thing I want to look at is some of the matchups between athletes that might impact this Olympic team. And the first one I want to look at is Donnell Wittenberg right there and Asher Hong. They are both great on vault and the still rings. And the selection committee would love to put those routines on an Olympic team, but it's likely that only one of them will make it. So for them to make the Olympic team, it might come simply down to who beats who on those events. The other thing I want to look at is about pommel horse, the nemesis for Team USA for decades. And there's 3 great all-arounders who are also great on pommel horse who did not perform night 1. Fred Richard, Coy Young, and Yul Moldauer. If those athletes can step up on pommel horse, it could have a ripple effect on how this Olympic team is put together. Those are just a couple of things I will be keeping an eye on in today's competition.
John, thanks. Just a reminder that it's not just the top scores. You're trying to put together a team that's going to be the most competitive in that team event at the Olympics. All right, we start over on still rings, and Shane Wiskus in 6th place overall. The 25-year-old from Spring Park, Minnesota, was a star at the University of Minnesota. Part of that Olympic team in Tokyo, but had all kinds of trouble on rings night one.
He did. He actually came off the rings. Every event in gymnastics, it's easy to fall down on rings pretty hard. It was kind of a fluke. I'll set up the element that he had the problem on, but he needs to show great strength parts and hold each one for a minimum of 2 seconds. Good so far. You know, like you said, Terry, he was part of the Tokyo Olympics, but since then he has really underperformed and has been left off the last 2 world teams. I think he looks better than I've seen him since Tokyo. And that was the skill that he came off the rings on. No problem today. It was just such a fluke. Dismount right here, double-double. Really nice start for Shane Wiskus.
Oh, what a difference night 2 from night 1. That number was low, just over 13 on night 1. And you mentioned the fall off of rings, which is unusual. Take another look at what took place in the opening night.
So his hand just got caught on the ring, and it's like, look, that right hand got caught. He comes over the top, and there's no way he can hold on. It was a shocking mistake for him.
Dude, I held my breath the whole thing. What are you talking about?
Conversation much different after that effort, so we'll get the number in a moment. Take you over to the floor. This man's got to make a move. He's the reigning U.S. all-around champ, but starts the evening in 10th. Asher Holm.
Yeah, he really does. And there are certain events that are more important for him. This is an event that he can really contribute for Team USA. Coming into the competition. Oh, really nice. He had the highest level of planned difficulty of any gymnast in the meet. Look at this, double twisting, double somersault.
Oh.
A little bit better landing. Scored only a 13.9 night 1, which he can improve, you know, at least a half of a point on. If you had told Asher after day 1 of the first part of the Olympic trials, you're going to be 10th in the all-around, I don't think he would have believed you. Oh, that right there. Big step forward. It's a 3/10 step and over the line, so that's another 1/10 of a point. Triple twist at the end and a bounding bunch of steps forward, and that dismount right there, Terry, that had a lot of deductions on it.
Yeah, it'd be a lower number when we get there in a moment, but over to vault and the world all-around bronze medalist. We mentioned him a few moments ago, Frederick Richard. He's really made a move the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, and he started the competition night 1. He was not doing well at all.
No.
And just going into the last event, moved, I believe, from 7th to 2nd. Oh, just so close to a stick. This should get a very...
And that's him right there.
Yeah.
He'll let you know. I mean, he's in second place.
Let's go. You hopped in the same spot. I know. What the heck is that? I didn't trust it.
He's in second, right behind Brody Malone. Much different the way he expresses himself out there during the meet.
Oh, yeah, he's having a good time. He's a very social kid, always has been. I had the pleasure to watch him grow up, being from Massachusetts as well. This has a maximum score of 15.2. We've been seeing gymnasts around 9.0, 9.2 execution score.
All right, so much better than number night 2 on still rings for Shane Wiskus. It was just over 13 the opening night, 14.2. By the way, upper left-hand corner, those are running totals, the top 3, and combined night 1 to
Brody,
night 2.
slow. Come on. Come on, Brody.
Yeah, that is a much improved score.
Take you over to the man leading the way, and the man who won this all-around title in 2021, 2022 was at the Olympics, Brody Malone.
Yeah, and if he finishes the night as he started day one, my opinion, he goes 3 in a row. He won the last 2 that he was in. He didn't compete the following year because of the injury. Really improved his strength level. This is very critical right here. Inverted cross, so hard to do. Down low, maybe just a little bit high. More strength. Gotta freeze those positions. And then 1/1002. You know, he told us he had to figure out how much his knee could take. Didn't want to waste any turns at all. And so in training for this competition, I didn't see him land anything because he was saving that knee and really didn't have the best landings, except for on floor. I think you'll be better here tonight.
Oh, yeah. Oh. He also had to figure out how to walk again after that knee injury. I mean, barely got all the skills, the routines back together.
Wow.
And again, stoic. That's the reaction you're going to see most of the night. Had one reaction in the high bar the other night where he said, I kind of lost it. I'm not usually like that. 14-4, the number on vault for Frederick Richards, the upper left hand, leading the way over Shane Wiskus.
2/10 better than he did night one, Frederick Richards.
And on floor in yellow in the mid-range. You want green, you don't want red. That's right in the middle for Asher Hong trying to make a comeback. That man can lead the way throughout the night, perhaps. Brody Malone. Back with a look at the standings after the opening rotation. First of 6 as Brody Malone warms up on vault. So he's over 100 right now. And remember that lead? Now it's over 2 points, Tim.
Unbelievable. I think we're going to see more and more of that. It's just going to get bigger and bigger as the night goes along.
Richard, Young, Walker, Wiskus, Judah rounding out the top 6. And it's on vault, it's on floor. Those landings where Brody Malone was most worried coming back off that knee injury. And it's a bigger brace that he wears for this, too.
I'll tell you what, the score he put up night one was just like a 1/10 and a little bit less than the current world champion from Japan, Daiki Hashimoto. Unbelievable. And like we said, he's already scored nearly 0.5 of a point better on routine number 1.
Think about this team, too, and John, the American team, as you project ahead to the Olympics, what they did at the World Championships, and now with a Brody Malone leading the way, perhaps.
I mean, you got to be licking your chops if you're a fan of USA men's gymnastics because they've got a great shot. The rest of the team needs to come along a little bit from what we've seen at night one, but Brody back is big time.
So we look ahead to the second rotation here, night 2, the Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. The 2024 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships is brought to you by Core Hydration. Whatever wellness journey you're on, you have to start somewhere. Start at the core. By Nike, introducing the Nike Air Max DN featuring dynamic air. The next generation of air technology is here. Air Max DN, feel the unreal. By Prevagen. And by Xfinity. Stream sports from the best seats in the house with Xfinity because it's only live once. I'm sorry, it was the 1929 all around? No, I'm sorry, 1992.
I mean, at least they had color TV. Look at Tim's videos from the 80s.
You kind of look like Rocky there. Yeah, that look. All right. Asher Hong needing to come back in 11th place after the opening rotation over on Pommel Horse, and he struggled on night 1 there.
Yeah, got only an 11.75. Had over 3 points off because predominantly this right here And that was great. Lost probably a point on that one skill. I don't think they took anything. Gotta stay big. Sometimes he can get a little tight in his hips, and the judges are just brutal. Very good. He struggled a little on that night one as well. Doesn't have the biggest circle. His hips are a little close to the horse and the pommels. But overall, this was...
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Really good until the end right there. I think that they're gonna call that a dismount, but I would say that he's gonna lose a full half of a point on that one skill. Same thing happened on floor exercise. He was doing a much better routine, and then he just really fell apart on the dismount. And right here, yeah, there's deductions everywhere. His elbows have to be straight. His body needs to be vertical, pointing towards the handstand. I think they'll give him the skill, but ouch.
And he took a hop on the landing, Tim, on pommel horse, probably a 3/10 hop as well. Unfortunate on what was an otherwise great routine.
Ouch indeed. Over, getting set for vault, Brody Malone. We told you, growing up, he competed with his brother Cooper in rodeo. Here's a look. So,
why do you think he never falls off pommel horse, guys? I mean, that's the secret.
Fly high. He didn't stick the landing
No,
that time.
not on that one.
Tim. And here he is, ready to go on vault.
We asked him, how does your leg feel? And he said, my leg feels amazing. My guess is it feels amazing in Brody Malone's mind. And the thing is, he doesn't have to convince himself of that. I think he absolutely, deep down, believes that. It's the hardest thing for him to do. The running on his leg is most painful. Much better, once again. He did take a step the other night, but he went out of bounds.
There's his dad, John, watching. Oftentimes you see him pacing, too nervous to just sit and watch. Composed right now, relaxed right now with the way Brody's performing.
Yeah, he was a rodeo guy as well. Pretty good form from the board to the table. Nice extension on the landing. That's a 3/10 hop because it's more than 1 foot, but he did not go to the side at all, so automatically he's better off once again than he was day one.
And that's what you get if you're the winner, and he really wants that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Diamonds in that belt buckle. Look at the smile on his face. Well on his way right now to winning his third. Adding to that number, upper left, to see what it is, 14-4. So the overall total, night one, night two, 115.2.
Yeah, that is 0.4 of a point better than he did night one.
Wow. Shane Wiskus next here on vault. Very much in the thick of things. Top 5.
Has the capability of sticking this vault. It's the exact same one that Brody did. It's really risky when you go for the stick, though. That was excellent. Probably going to come in right about the exact same score as Brody. He might have had a little bit more of a leg separation. It was hard to tell from the angle I was looking at, from the board to the table, but 2 routines down for Shane Wiskus, and they've both been just about as good as he can do.
Asher Hong, 12.95 on pommel horse. That tough ending to that routine.
Unbelievable. That would have been a full, I would say, a point better.
All right, how about this man, Donnell Wittenberg, in 8th place after the first rotation. Remember, he was close. He was in the top 3 after night one. He's 29 years of age. That search, that path to the Olympics, he's stuck around just to make it to the Olympics. He's accomplished so much in his career, and that's the one thing missing.
And as John mentioned at the top of the show, there are 2 events that are really critical. One of them still rings, one of them is vaulting. And really, Asher Hong and Donnell Wittenberg are both tremendous on those events. And I would imagine Team USA wants one of those ring routines, one of those vaults, but both of them aren't going to make it. Really strong, great position. Would ultimately love, a little better than he did night one on that skill. Good fight there. I would say better than night one.
Four-time U.S. rings champ, including last year, 14-6 for Donnell Wittenberg. How about Shane Wiskis for vault? 14-3, the 9.1 execution.
Yeah, it's a good score. I thought it was going to be close between Brody and him, and it was.
So that top three, Malone, Wiskis, and Whitberg now here. As rotation 2 continues, we take you over to Pommel Horse. And in third, after that opening rotation, Coy Young. How about night 1 for him?
Yeah, it was a disaster. He is so incredible on this event. World silver medalist. And look at this handstand. Nowhere near it. Came off the horse. And when you look at that as the judge, the first thing you have to decide, was that actually a dismount? And no, it wasn't. So he had to go back up again. He incurred a full 1 point off. And he also had an error early in the routine. I mean, this is an event that Team USA...
It's his strongest event usually, too.
Absolutely. And the USA really wants him on the team because of this event. A lot of things. This event, his vault, his high bar, his floor. It's a key routine. Already better than night 1. This is really tricky. Got to come back down into flares. So risky, but he dealt with that extremely well. Look at the height his hips are away from the pommels and the leather. It is just so much distance, and that just makes the judge drool. They love to see that. Beautiful extension. Oh, this is gonna be a big number if he can hold on. Just got the dismount. No repeat of night 1. Absolutely out of the park. Coy.
You said it was going to happen, Tim. You said he would not miss 2 routines in a row, and I got to tip my hat. He absolutely smoked that.
Go ahead and bring it, Coy Young. And a big statement, big picture-wise.
Oh, that is gigantic. And you know, so many of the top athletes fell on pommel horse night 1. And because of that, Steven Nederazic, a pommel horse specialist, he was part of just about every scenario of picking a team if you just took night 1 because his score was so much higher.
You heard him say, I needed that one.
And I actually talked to his coach, Tom, right before the meet, and Tom said he was very frank with him. Coy asked him, what do I need to do? And Tom said, you want me to tell you? And he goes, you've got to step up on horse and stand out on that event. And he said, okay, apparently he listened.
Well, he absolutely just did right there. Without question, this should be a giant number.
There you go, even 15, pommel horse, Coy Young.
Yeah, that was great. I got to tell you, I think
expected higher.
I do. Yes, Nederazic night 1 actually got, I believe, a 15.4 and had only 6.4 in difficulty. I don't know where they got those deductions.
Yul Moldauer, he was great on high bar to open up, and now over on floor. Wondered about that hip, the injury on high bar the opening night. No signs of it over there. We'll see here on floor.
A newish first pass for Yul. Fantastic. Yul said after that fall on high bar day one, he didn't know if he would be able to do a floor routine. He really didn't know until he got out there and went to punch. Such a veteran, a member of world teams, a part of that bronze medal team at the Worlds in 2023. He's got an individual medal, his first World Championships ever. He got a bronze on floor exercise. Oh boy, he had the second highest score in the first day of competition on floor exercise. And this routine, it's better. Just the dismount, triple full. Little slide back. Money.
Similar reaction on floor as to high bar afterward. Said, I want to make the team again. He was there in 2020, but not just Paris, maybe LA. Wants to stick around.
Yeah, he told me one time he wants to go to 4 Olympic Games.
Yeah, he even thought about training for 2032. All right, Frederick Richard in second to open up the night, and after that opening rotation, moment ago on parallel bars. Said night one was all about getting the cobwebs out. And it was even a little better than that. He was in second.
A little bit shy of the handstand there, but still pretty good. He just keeps getting better and better. Every time you see him in a meet, he's doing more and more difficulty. Flipped his leg on the bar. Beautiful. You know, I talked to him about, going to his first Worlds, winning a bronze in the all-around. And I asked him about the pressure, and he says, no, it's great. I'm thankful for it. It's an honor. And I want my gymnastics to back it up like that.
Oh, yeah, he embraces it.
Also a big social media guy.
Said, I have no problem just going ahead and stating, I want to win the Olympics. 14.6 the number.
3/10 better than night one.
What do you make of this, 14.7?
A very good score. I'm looking at what he got night one. It's a 10th better than he did night one. I think it could have been maybe one more.
Yeah, he was third best on floor in the opening night. All right, Colt Walker in fourth after the opening rotation. A moment ago on pommel horse.
And Colt has really improved his gymnastics tremendously on pommel horse. He actually told me the other day, pommel horse is his best event. He's gotten way better. But I think he's got some other strengths, parallel bars and high bar, but this so far, wow. He says, I want Team USA to know they can count on me, even in the team final on this event, and that is a very good start.
Last time around, he failed to qualify for the U.S. Olympic trials in the lead up to Tokyo. They'll take what, up to 18?
I would imagine they'll take probably 18, certainly at least 15. They might take one more, you never know. It's all gonna, once again, come down to that big puzzle. They've got to put together a team at the Olympic Games of 5 athletes, and on the 6 different events, they need 3 out-of-the-park scores. Everybody's not great on everything.
Paul Judah over on bars.
Oh boy, little bit of an error. That'll be at least 3/10 of a point. Paul Judah was actually the person who earned the spot, the specialist spot for Team USA for the Tokyo Olympic Games. Alec Yoder ended up going a little bit of a hop backwards. Very strong routine, but he's going to be thinking about that swing to handstand.
Yeah, remember, he skipped the U.S. Championships that week back in 2021 to go to the Pan American Championships, came in second and earned that spot.
Good job, T-Bars. Good job.
Had injuries since, trying to come back from those, competing here at the National Championships. That man, Brody Malone, leads the way here in Fort Worth. Brody Malone will head to parallel bars for the third rotation. Here are the standings after the opening two. So it's got a little closer at the top. 1.85 the difference. Frederick Richards still in second. Coy Young rounding out the top three. Scores carrying over from night one. 2 nights of competition. 2024 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships on the road to Paris. Back to tell you, don't forget to get social with the hashtag Xfinity Champs and follow at XfinityChampionships.com for more information. We head to rotation 3. Brody Malone, Frederick Richard, Coy Young, the top 3 as we send it over to Zora.
Thanks, Terry. Former Indianapolis Colts quarterback Andrew Luck and his wife Nicole are Stanford alum. A lot of you know that, but they are active alum, doing what they can to support Olympic hopefuls. They will be providing housing to 5 Stanford gymnasts as they train for Paris. Andrew said with his wife being a former gymnast, he's watched this sport for 15 years and says it is a privilege to cheer on these athletes. He's even in the building today with his little ones. The Lucks are providing more than just a place to stay. The couple plans to take weekly trips to the farmers market and drop off fresh produce to the guys. The Luck family is one of many who are going above and beyond to make sure the Stanford gymnasts have all they need ahead of the games.
That is great. Strawberries, no doubt, for Asher Hong. But Andrew in the building, he has become a huge fan. Have you stayed at their guest house? I haven't stayed at their guest house.
I've for some reason, I have not got the invite.
No. It's occupied now. These guys are staying. That's really cool, though. And Andrew on the edge of his seat watching. There you go.
He's become a big gymnastics fan, too, guys.
Yeah.
He goes to all the men's meets up there at Stanford, and it's pretty cool.
One of the nicest guys you can ever talk to as well.
Yep. Nicole as well.
Oh, yeah.
So rotation 3 here, night 2 of the U.S. National Championships. Just to remind you, these numbers will count towards picking that team for Paris. These plus the Olympic trials. You put them into a computer with the software and try to pick the best scores in terms of the different needs for the team.
Right. There'll be 3 athletes, I would guess, that could definitely do any event in the team finals. That's what you need. You need 3 great routines. And the last 2 athletes will probably be athletes that can, on the week events, when you take those 3 top all-around guys, they're going to fill the puzzle, put the puzzle together.
By the way, that's Sam McCulloch, 6-time U.S. all-around champ right there, coaching now.
He says he loves it. I asked him, do you get nervous? And he's like, nah, not at all. I was like, gosh, when I coached, I
get even more nervous than as an athlete,
I was way
right?
more nervous than, I wasn't coaching Brody Malone, though, which is an important caveat.
So take me through what they're doing right now.
So they are just, every gymnast on parallel bars likes it a certain distance, the width of the P-bars. So they're doing that, and you see he's putting honey on his hands. One of the critical things about parallel bars, thing I hated worst, was are you going to have a great grip for skills, underbar skills, giant skills, peach basket skills? Everybody likes it a little bit differently. These guys work out together, and so not only do they, he told them that looks maybe a little damp to me. A lot of times it's not grinding it in, it's patting the chalk on.
So here is the 2-time U.S. all-around champ and leader here in 2024, Brody Malone.
Actually has a move named after him. That is a mount, does not do that too often. that underbar skill where grip is so critical. Very nice. Completely unfazed. That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
Big release right here. Brody used to do a double front for a dismount, which in a lot of ways is much easier to stick, in my opinion. It's a little tough on his knee, so he goes backwards, double pike. Just a small little hop on the landing, but once again, fabulous.
Find me a deduction, though, other than the landing. And they're going to come up with a point, right, Tim?
Oh, yeah.
But there's no way.
Yeah, it'll probably be 1.1, 1.2.
Just taking it in. Are you surprised what you're seeing from Brody Malone off that injury?
Absolutely blown away beyond belief. I mean, Terry, most gymnasts would have probably just stopped after that injury. And then maybe 5% of them would have said, you know what, I'm going to come all the way back and do floor and vault as well. Amazing.
I mean, pretty much if you can name a ligament in the knee, he tore it. I mean, it was a disastrous injury.
He is absolutely world class in the all-around, world class on high bar.
How about Yo Moldauer now? Getting set for Pommel Horse in 9th place after the 2 rotations tonight.
Maybe his most critical routine right here. He fell on Pommel Horse night 1, and he said basically when he does his flared skills, where his legs are apart, it was really bothering the hip. But I'll tell you what, in a lot of ways, and we've seen this so far, sometimes throughout the years when I've watched Yule, if he's got something that's a little bit not perfect, it gives him something that takes away the focus, and he's able to sometimes be a little bit cleaner in the competition.
It's the old beware the injured athlete.
Yeah, this is such a critical routine. One of the biggest, in my opinion, not just for Yule, but the ripple effect that it could have on putting together this team, because Pommel Horse is such a critical event for Team USA. This is a moment.
Little bit of a hesitation there. Lose a couple of tenths. This stuff, no problem. We'll do a little bit more one pommel work, nice body position. And this is where it gets dicey. That hip is being torqued on every single flare skill. It's going well. And this is where he came off right here. Not today. He is going for it, man. If he flies up to a handstand, this is gigantic. Wow. That was fantastic. And that is a routine that if Yule Moldauer is on the Olympic team, they can put that up in the team finals on Pommel Horse as a top 3 routine, and it will hold its weight.
Selection committee, 5-member selection committee needs to be confident in certain events from certain guys to put them on that team.
Absolutely. They're going to look at numbers first, though, and they're going to look at each athlete's top 3 scores on each event.
14.9, the number of parallel bars for Brody Malone. And added to those top 3 on top.
So right now, Brody Malone is far ahead of where he was night 1.
Take you over to rings right now, and Coy Young in 3rd place throughout.
That gigantic Pommel Horse routine he did, I'm sure, has calmed him down a little bit. This is not an event that Coy would think he would compete in the team finals. He's fantastic on 5 events, not quite as physically strong as some of the other athletes. And night 1 had a huge problem one of his hands pinged off the rings on his dismount, and somehow he was able to hold on, put it to his feet. 2 flips, 2 twists. Basically, it's like you're shot in the air. And he found the ground. Here we go, right here. Oh.
If you were made to name a few right now that you just expect to be there in Paris, he'd be one of them.
Absolutely. I cannot envision a team where he is not on it.
Come on, Kay. Come on, Kay. Okay, keep it going. Nice.
Number on pommel horse, Yul Moldauer, 13-7.
Wow. I don't get that once again, and I know Yul does not either. 13-7.
All right, Donnell Wittenberg in 8th place after the second rotation. Vault is his next event, and this will be key for him, John.
Yeah, there's 2 Americans that do the most difficult vault in the world. It's Asher Hong and Donnell Wittenberg. It's called the Rise Guan. Here is Asher doing it. 3 flips from the time they leave the board until they land on the mat with a full twist within there. Here's Donnell's attempt. Little better than Asher's night 1. And these 2, again, we've talked about it. They're going head-to-head. The selection committee wants one of these vaults on the team. Look, who's higher? I think Donnell gets the nod right there. But the key difference in night 1 was the landing. And here's a closer look at it. Likely only one of these guys makes the team, and this could be the deciding factor. Night 1, Asher Hong a little short. You can see him on the left. Big deductions there. Donnell takes that step back, but you give the nod to Donnell night 1. Now here we go, round 2.
And a short time ago, it was Donnell Wittenberg with this vault.
And just frankly, you know, I'd be petrified to do this vault, and I know he is. But he knows he has to do it.
Wow.
And that was absolutely better than night 1. That is a very big outcome for Donnell Wittenberg. He's a world medalist on this event on vaulting, and he's showing you why. As John said, that is 3 flips around.
That was a huge moment in this whole process, Tim, and I know you know that. That's Donnell driving the green on a par 4, and now Asher Hong's got to tee it up. That was big time.
You got a lot of golf analogies tonight, you know. Opened up with one. I like it. 14-6 the number. Yeah, he won a bronze medal on vault back in 2015 at the World Championships as they work on Coy Young right now. 13-6 the number for rings.
Once again, much better than night 1. He was only 13.2. Most people are doing better.
How about Frederick Richard? And he does want to be known as Frederick. We've known him as Fred the last couple of years, but he's a little exhausted right now.
I've known him as Fred for about 14 years, Tara.
Yep, prefers Frederick. All right, the effort a moment ago on high bar. Oh, he's got the energy back now. Here we go.
He had the second highest score to Brody night 1 with a 14.4. Big, huge release coming up right here. Gorgeous. So hard, but believe it or not, he's capable of doing another skill, add a full twist onto that, which would raise his maximum potential score even more. Handstands have been good. Here's a critical one. A little bit shy. That's a 3/10 deduction right there. That one at least 1, maybe 3 as well, but a little bit of a hop, but tremendous.
He was the high bar champ last year at the U.S. Championships. 14.4 for the man who won the bronze medal in the all-around at the World Championships and said it gave him a world of confidence now looking ahead to the Olympics. Shane Wiskus a moment ago on parallel bars.
And Shane is absolutely spectacular on this event. And usually a little bit of a bent elbow there, that'll be a deduction. When you're really great on one event, it doesn't just help you, it helps you in the puzzle for the team. The problem for Shane is that Team USA is so deep on parallel bars. There are a ton of guys that are just really good on this event. So he doesn't get quite as much bang for the buck. Beautiful form in the air. And watch, he's gonna just float here from one end to the other. Once again, like we've said, John, not a lot of deductions in this routine. Right there, the hop forward, that's 3/10, but
Numbers up or left updated in real time, sometimes ahead of what we're watching as we show you those back. You saw the number for Wiskus a moment ago. Cameron Bach, the 25-year-old from California, on high bar. He was an alternate with that Tokyo Olympic team.
One big release right here. Beautiful. Watch this. This is very nice, and he does it so well. These are called German giants. He excels with elements like that. And this one right here gets an extra 1/10 of a point for doing that. Those are called Russian giants. Handstand, we're looking for a handstand, very good.
Michigan fans like it. That man not only got his degree in economics in Ann Arbor, but also a master's in accounting. 13.75 on high bar. Over to Asher Hong. Ready to go on rings.
And once again, this is one of those events. Asher Hong and Donnell Wittenberg, they're both tremendous on still rings and on vault. How do their routines compare? Excellent strength. Got to be exactly parallel to the floor. Really good. Definitely 2-second hold. Goes right to the cross, doesn't start a little bit high. His dismount, night one, super hard, but not done that cleanly. Had a little bit of a chest down and some hops. Double laid out. Once again, a big hop to the side. That's a 3/10 of a point hop. He'll also get at least 1/10 for landing a little bent over with his chest.
You said earlier you couldn't believe someone would fall off of rings. I can't believe they get up on rings and do what they do. It's amazing to watch night after night. So eventually the number for Asher Hong, but that man has led the way into tonight and still through 3 rotations. Brody Malone looking for his 3rd title. Hoi Young trying to hang in there, should be on that team. And a pretty good night so far for Yul Moldauer needing to come back. Frederick Richard, too, ready to go. Midway point, 3 rotations left. Brody Malone with that lead. It's over 2 points now. Frederick Richard right there. Shane Wiskus has moved ahead of Coy Young. And for Malone, he moves over to his signature event. High bar is next, where he won a world championship back in 2022 as we continue from Fort Worth. Rotation 4 of 6 on the night, just about ready to get underway, and that's the man in first place as we check out the Prevagen memorable moment, Brody Malone.
And it was spectacular. Like you mentioned earlier, he is a world champion. After the Olympic Games, he took a picture of Daiki Hashimoto, the all-around and high bar champ, put it right up on the bar, so he'd have to look at it every day to motivate himself to be even better. It's working.
Prevagen, memorable moment, showed emotion. He said at that point, I'm usually the guy who doesn't show any emotion out here, stoic. And I kind of lost it after that routine.
He earned it.
Yep. You think of the doubt. I mean, for an athlete coming back from a major injury, so much of it is mental, and getting over that hurdle on night one, he seemed to do just that.
Absolutely, but don't kid yourself. This routine right here, it is so difficult, one of the most difficult in the world today. He's got to be great to hit all of these elements. The thing he added, since he's a world champion, comes in combination. This handstand right into this skill right here. Very good, but bent his elbows on that giant. Woo. Gotta get your eyes on that bar as quickly as you can. Both of those looked a little bit long. Now he'll try to connect releases. In the Olympics, if he had done that, he would have gotten an Olympic medal. He fell the wrong way. Ended up fourth. Stuck this day one.
And again.
And that is the element that he pinged off the bar in Germany about 15 months ago and destroyed that knee. I asked him, do you think about it? Nope, not at all.
And you know what?
Attaboy. Good job. Come on. Stay locked in. Stay locked in.
Terry,
There are some athletes you'd kind of doubt that response. With
Yeah.
him, you just don't.
no, I'll tell you what, I am just, every time he does something again, I am more impressed. Look at that, to the handstand, and it's connected into this skill, super difficult. It's called a Lukin, named after great Soviet gymnast Valery Lukin. This is what destroyed his knee. That's what just put another exclamation mark on another one of his routines.
You are worthy. Be undeniable from the man standing in the crowd.
There's a smile,
Yep.
but it's not going to last. Not going to last.
On his way to the belt buckle.
A lot of work.
He's going to have to do a lot wrong to not get that belt buckle. You see that 14.6, that's 0.3 less than he got night one.
I'm concerned, Tim. Now it's the first routine that has not gone up in his
Yep.
score. So I don't know if this is a trend or
I doubt
should be
it.
concerned about that.
You're worried at this point, yeah. All right, over the floor. The man in second place throughout, Frederick Richard.
Really difficult. Tumbling run. 2.5 twisting double. A lot of athletes do a double-double. Floor exercise, you got to have a high maximum score, but mostly you got to land. Boom. Pretty good. That was 1/10 of a point. Watch this now. This came from breakdancing. It's called an air flare. They stole flares from us, but we stole air flares from them. Actually, it's so counterintuitive for a gymnast as well. Great fight for that landing. Could have been so easy to take a little slide. Does a very challenging dismount. Double back with a full twist. Just a small little hop. Yes, he could have eliminated those little hops, but that was excellent once again.
Breaking's an Olympic sport in Paris, you know.
Yes, I know. So what we're seeing so far tonight is we're seeing Brody Malone and we're seeing Fred Richards, who, unless something catastrophic happens along the way, I can't envision a team where those two are not on it, and I put Coy Young right behind him.
And Tim, the beauty of it is you got You got two guys that do all around that you could put on almost every event, and that's such a good foundation, a great 1-2 punch for Team USA.
Just watched him the last several years become a star in the making, grow more and more popular, active on social media. He's got over 650,000 followers on TikTok. Not as many as you, I know, Tim, but he's getting there. Puts routines up there, grow the sport. Cole Walker in 8th after 3 rotations at the midway point. And a moment ago on vault.
It's Riley Lewis right here. Very difficult vault. Actually downgraded it, did only a 1.5 twist, was supposed to do 2.5. So that's not the vault we just saw.
No,
there.
it's not.
Good job, Tay. Let's go, boy.
But he did get a 13.8.
Yeah, it's a good score, but I don't think quite as good as he had day one. Yeah, he had a 14.05 day one. I would compare and contrast the vaults, but oh baby.
Oh baby?
Oh baby, 14.9. Huge number. That is gigantic. 0.3 higher once again. He was great day one, and then look at that, an 8.9 execution score on floor. That's huge.
You got it? Come on, Sam.
So the top 3, upper left. And a moment ago on still rings, Yul Moldau.
Yul doesn't look like some of the really strong guys on rings, but he's actually deceptively strong. Shows very nice body positions. Nice planche, perfectly level to the floor. This is tricky sometimes, this swing to a handstand. Gotta land right in the cross. Maybe a 10th high at the very beginning, but excellent. So tiring at this point to boom, finish in that cross position. Very, very good, but certainly at least a 1/10 of a point high. He'll go right into his dismount. Double-double. Whoa. Yul's killing it today.
The difference night 1 to night 2, remarkable.
Oh, absolutely. I thought they really hammered him on pommel horse.
Let's go, Fuzzy.
Very nice.
All right, so this man is in 11th place. He's the reigning U.S. all-around champ, Asher Hong.
And remember, he's really competing against Donnell Wittenberg on this.
On this, yeah.
Donnell has already gone, scored a 14.6. They were 5/100ths apart on rings. And this is going to be interesting. Very, very interesting. Significantly better than he did night one.
Did that foot stay in? That might be the difference with this score. He took that hop and he was right on the edge there.
The line is in gymnastics 3 times around. Pretty good bounce, and he is pulling like crazy.
And tough to tell right there.
Can't see from this angle. We'll get a much better view here.
His teammates said they call him the fly catcher because his mouth is open so big on that mouth.
John, he can do whatever he wants on this vault. It's that hard. So let's look. Line is in. And that foot definitely went over the line. Now, the other thing is the judge has to see that, and they are in a perfect position. And I think I just saw the orange flag being raised. That's 1/10 of a point.
I mean, you think about that competition within the competition, and yes, it goes through the trials, but 14.55, 14.6 is what Wittenberg got, and so the nod goes to Donnell right here.
It does on vault and on rings by 5/100ths.
And the man who won the all-around title last year has got work to do. Asher Hong loved the vault, but maybe not the number. Back here, rotation 4. They work on that right leg of Brody Malone. Flexibility with the ankle. No signs of that injury in the performance tonight. Promised you Cole Walker's vault. Want to show that to you. So in 8th place after 3 rotations, and let's check that out.
Same ball we've seen a bunch of times. It's Kasamatsu with an extra twist, so 2.5 twists. And very nice, good power, big hop. That was a 3/10 hop, and I think he was 3/10 out of bounds as well.
So 13-8 with that penalty, as you mentioned. And Ko Young with the baseball or softball. In 4th after 3 rotations, very much in the mix though. This a moment ago, his vault.
He was a little bit of a shocking silver medal on this event at Worlds. I gotta tell you, but he performed like that, but even a little bit better. Such a clean gymnast. It's actually a lot harder than it looks. You see that 9.25 execution score? Much better than we saw from either Donnell Wittenberg or from Asher Young.
Huge jolt of
Asher
confidence, though, what he did at the World Championships, no doubt. How about Paul Judah in 7th, heading into the 4th rotation, had the highest number of the night on floor the opening night, and this took place a moment ago.
He cares so much about how his gymnastics looks. I think I give him...
In terms of being perfect?
Being perfect, and sometimes maybe it gets him into a little bit of trouble, because if you're gonna fall, it's better to get a little scrappy, in my opinion. And that right there, that's a huge mistake, probably about a full point off. That's a shame for Paul. That's really, certainly, obviously not what he wanted.
What's going through your mind as a gymnast right now when you have a routine like this and you needed a big effort?
Well, hopefully he is not thinking about it at all. We talk about staying in the moment, exactly in the moment. As soon as something's happened, it's gone, and you are thinking about this full twisting double, and you're upset at yourself because you took another 3/10 step on it.
But you crunch the numbers, gymnasts do as well. They know certain routines are really important for them in terms of trying to make that Olympic team.
Absolutely, as he had the highest score night 1 on floor exercise. That would be a routine Team USA would use, but not that one.
All right, Shane Wiskus, top 3 at this point after a night and a half and a moment ago on high bar.
I think Shane and his coaches have made a very smart decision. They used to do a major release in addition to this one in the laid out position, and he would catch it occasionally, but I would say it was about 50-50. And even when he caught it, it just produced so much angst, emotional pressure. Really smart decision to take it out of the routine. He says he doesn't have an event or a skill that he's competing now that he's worried about. Nothing, which is very unusual for a gymnast. And if he was doing that big release, the Casina, he would have been worried about that. Little bit of a hop. Excellent routine.
Yeah, he said in the lead up to these national championships, couldn't have done anything better to prepare physically, mentally. He was ready to compete this week in Fort Worth. 13.5 the number for high bar. You look at those numbers up there all the way through the top 10.
Hey, what's up?
All right, 22-year-old from Utah, Patrick Hoops. And he's really emerged. We talk about specialists and trying to maybe make that team as a specialist. Here he is on pommel horse.
And he's tremendous. He won the NCAA title this year on pommel horse. I believe he won the Winter Cup as well. Was a little bit, well, actually quite a bit behind Steven Nedorozic, night one. But he did not do his best routine. Watch these right here. Full spin, gorgeous. Another one, the other way. Has a nice straight body, good clearance. Really, really good stuff. I said, what do you go by? You like Patrick? You like Pat? He says, call me Patty Hoops. Oh boy, and right there, that was costly.
You don't really call him that though, do you?
I said, really? And he goes, yeah. Yeah, that's too bad right there. You see that 8.1. It's all attributed to that dismount, probably a half a point off on that.
So 14-3 the number. Malone, Richard, Young, the top three. We keep trying to figure out who's got the edge to try to make the Olympic team. How about that man? He's doing the same thing. Men's high performance director, Brett McClure, also part of that selection committee. The scores from tonight, scores from the trials, and they'll throw it into the computer, crunch the numbers, and pick 5. Get ready for the thrill of the summer. Your favorite ninjas are back, taking the competition to new heights. American Ninja Warrior returns Monday on NBC and Peacock. Beautiful look down on Fort Worth. John Roethlisberger, what do you have?
Yeah, we're just talking about Brody Malone's high bar routine. He wants that world title back. You know he does. He had to watch Daiki Hashimoto get it back at the last World Championships. So let's dissect his routine a little bit. Tim talked about this new combination that he does right here. He does what's called a half Takamoto to handstand. It's important you hit the handstands right there. Actually gets 15 degrees free with no deduction. Definitely within that, and he connects it right to the Lucan out of it. Tough combination. Keep rolling. And here's the Lucan. It's the Takacha with a full twist. Check out the height. You'll see a lot of athletes just do this straight over the bar. Actually, that is not the Lucan. That is just the straight Takacha. But look at the height right there. That's upper deck viewpoint. That is amazing height on that release. And that's the name of the game for Brody on high bar. Big releases, but not only does he make them, he makes them as well as anybody in the world can do them.
Right on the edge a couple of times. I didn't think it was going to get there to the bar.
Oh yeah, no, on some of the other releases, absolutely.
Hey, big move tonight from Yul Moldau. I know he's in 9th place, but he's been much better tonight than he was in the opening night. Here on vault now.
12.65, night one. Actually fell. Never seen him fall on this vault before. Oh, yikes. And I know that was bothering his hip, but he just mind over matter. So challenging to try to stick this vault too, because it's so easy to come in a little short and not make it around and sit down, but that is what you want to do right there.
It's like he's glued to the floor.
Oh, that was one of the best stickers in the world.
Yeah.
And he can make a big move here, guys. That vault, very clean. It's going to score high. And then he goes to parallel bars, arguably the best gymnast on parallel bars in the entire competition.
High scoring event here, 14.55. P-bars next. But we take you over to floor. And in the top 4, Shane Wiskus.
Definitely doing his job, without question. Double pike. Big hop forward, though. Double twisting double. Little bit of a slide back. Typically, that's a stick for Shane. there would be very few Olympic teams in the world that Shane Wiskus would not be a part of. He does not have a weakness. He does hard enough gymnastics, and he's very aesthetic, very elegant, great body lines. But this is a tough team to make. He's right on the bubble, though. And that's really great. See him bend his knees down there, taking his time. Just got to cap it off. Last thing the judges see, the triple full. Little hop. Another really strong routine.
And you can see why he came in saying, look, I'm ready. I've done everything possible to get to this point, proven it this week. Maybe not one of the first names at the beginning of the week when I ask you, all right, name an Olympic team, but he's right on the edge.
Absolutely, but if he doesn't make the Olympic team, I can't imagine he won't be at least one of the alternates, but he doesn't want to hear that.
That top three, remember, Brody Malone has not gone yet here in this rotation. So we'll get that number in a moment. Take you over to parallel bars. And the man in third, Coy Young.
And I would have to say that, I mean, he's just on such a linear path straight up in his gymnastics, but his parallel bars and his high bar have gotten so much better. Frankly, they used to look a little bit weak and maybe not quite so international, but watch this right here. Big element done very well. So tricky, that skill. Nice release. Coy told me his best quality is that nothing really rattles him. He just stays the same. And I'll tell you what, if you're a competitor, double pike. Oh, that is 2 nights in a row with this stick on parallel bars.
It's one of those athletes, too, you can't really watch him in warm-ups or in practice and say, okay, this is going to be an off night. But when the lights go on, he brings it.
Very difficult dismount to stick, this double pike somersault. Just another day at the office.
Yeah.
You know what, I'm not going to sell out one of his teammates, but one of them said, you know, Coy, it's like I'm watching him. We're getting up to the meet. It's a couple days, a day before, and I'm like, I don't think Coy's going to be ready. And then he just lights it up.
Exactly. The number for Shane Wisk is 14.15 over on floor a moment ago. So you see in second place at the moment, right behind Frederick Richard.
And that could have been better for him. He was 14.45 day one.
And there is that man in second. Moment ago, this is what he did on pommel horse.
Did not have a good day on pommel horse. Ended up doing a much easier routine. Only a 12.85. Look at him doing these spins with his hands in between both of the pommels. There's not enough room to do that, folks. Makes it so much more challenging. Beautiful flaring skills. Try to keep his body completely open. Oh, this is a really good routine. Little bit of a struggle on that dismount, and that'll cost him some.
But you saw that key routine in the graphic upper left. So Richard, you'll mold down or Coy Young in terms of that pommel horse. Certainly a little competition within the competition. 13.3 the number for Frederick.
Yeah, I would say he lost at least 5, maybe 6/10 of a point on that dismount alone.
And the number parallel bars 14.9 for Young.
Not done.
9.2 execution. It is so rare to see a score that is better than a 9.
And now the man over on floor exercise, Brody Malone. How about the opening to this floor exercise routine?
Absolutely. I mean, he looks like he's supernatural, right? But this mount, if you hadn't shattered your leg 15 months ago, this is super tricky for a super healthy, super accomplished athlete. He'll do a running front somersault with a full twist right into a double pike. And that was a phenomenal fight. He was not exactly where he wanted to be at the end of that front full, but another combination. Oh boy, and definitely 1 foot out and probably 2. It's a 10th if one is out, 3/10 if both went out. Day 1, they actually initially had 3/10. They said both of his feet went out on a pass. Psych Caesar, his coach, put in an inquiry. They looked at it and they said it was not conclusive. They gave him 2/10 back. Really nice landing there. This landing was absolutely perfect. Night 1, triple full. Oh, just the smallest of hops, but wow.
His dad and his sister watching.
Every time he goes, I become more enthralled by this young man. Look at how tricky this is. A laid out somersault with a full twist and then has to rebound right away. Didn't seem to me like he's got as good of a bounce. Certainly not as good as he did day 1, but no problem for a guy like this.
And it's obligatory to have your phone out and go ahead and take some pictures and some video. Oh, even Dad.
There you go.
That's great. You know what? The reaction's the same as Brody's, basically. Like, yeah, we expected that. Okay, we got one more rotation here, and I'm back on top of the leaderboard. What a night. What a week for Brody Malone in the comeback. The number on floor exercise, not as high night 2 as night 1 for Brody Malone.
Yeah, well, he's got that 3/10 neutral deduction instead of 1/10. And, you know, he stuck the triple full night 1. He did not there.
All right, Asher Hong in 10th place, the defending all-around champ on parallel bars.
And this is a very good routine for Asher, and he needs one. Nice. It's called a Bopsar. Very popular skill, very challenging, named after great American Olympian Raj Bopsar. A little bit of a bent elbows there. These judges, they're strict. Only a 10th on it, but. And then another one right there, as you see. Double front with a half turn. Well, that was good.
I guess. He thinks it was.
Yeah, it was.
In need of a couple of events to close things out tonight. Asher Hong.
Big front uprise, 2 flips, and then right at the end, he does a half turn. He spots the ground the last 3/4 of that flip. Makes it easy for a guy, a daredevil like him, to put it to his feet and not move.
Oh, Andrew Luck's excited too.
No pick 6 there, man.
There you go. Raise the rent.
Thanks, Coach Ruben.
While we have a moment, let's send it over to Zora.
Well, Terry, Ian Gunther is coming up next. In addition to excelling on the mat, he's found success on the internet too. The gymnast has over 2 billion total views on various social platforms. One time he actually broke a high bar, which almost never happens in this sport. Gunther then put his design major to use and turned the damaged metal into jewelry. That went viral naturally. Another popular video features our own John Roethlisberger. A certain dismount is the subject. Guys, I need your help here. Context for the people.
Yeah, this is in the code of points, the rules. That's a Roethlisberger right there on the top of the screen. The inventor is with us tonight on the floor.
There was also a hop, I believe, John.
Yeah, I never did not stick the landing. Some people would call that unique. Tim Daggett used to commentate and call it hocus pocus.
No, he did not.
A long time ago.
I mean, in a galaxy far, far away, apparently, too.
Let's compare and contrast, though. I think, John, your form initially is a little better, and the landing, I got to give it to you.
Thanks, buddy.
Props to the great John Roethlisberger.
Well, you used to be able to get away with worse form in the air back in those days than you can now. So, the knees apart wasn't a deduction.
Way to go, John. You're going places, man.
The ship has sailed. The ship has sailed, Terry.
Ian Gunther now, the 24-year-old from Houston. We'll see. We'll compare this, too.
So, John, did Ian give you a ring from that broken high bar?
He did not. I should inquire. Maybe there's some left.
Oh, good fight right there. He was quite a bit off on it. Very nice young man. It's a little ironic because, he has all of these followers, like you said, billions of views, but he's really pretty shy when you get right down to it. He's not like a super outgoing guy like an Asher Hong who, oh boy, a little bit over on that one. Got to dig deep here. Keeping the Roethlisberger alive right there.
All right, let's let John judge it.
It lives for another day, ladies and gentlemen. That was pretty good. He actually, in all honesty, he does it better than I ever did it. He goes over the top. I used to kind of torque it around the side a little bit, and he keeps his knees together much better. Here you go. So what you do the front uprise, and then you basically swing up on one hand. It's called the Wendy swing. So up on one hand, half turn, snap down, back tuck. That's pretty good.
How did you come up with this, John?
Well, I don't want to go into.
Come on, I want to know. I want to know the real story, and so does the American public.
All right, it's time to come clean. I saw someone else do it.
Is that true?
And then I did it at the World Championships.
Wow.
And the rest is history. All my street cred just went out the door right there.
No. That's fair. That's fair. Andrew liked it, too.
That's the rules, baby.
Skill is cool. The Roethlisberger's the coolest dismount no matter what anyone says about it, all right? Love for the Roethlisberger.
The best
Someone better do
$100.
it. Someone has to carry my torch after I retire, all right? Let's go,
He wants a
Ryan!
ring. John wants a ring.
The best $100 I ever spent right there.
Yeah, checks in the mail, right?
Come on, Ryan!
Man who was part of 4 consecutive NCAA team titles.
I couldn't do any other dismount, just like John.
That's true.
He sold you down the river on that.
That's the part I didn't tell you. I couldn't do another dismount. I had to do that one.
Good, I need that light.
Paul Judah still talking here. Short time ago on Pommel Horse.
Just absolutely gorgeous work. Just about everywhere his form, his elegance is, top of the game. Gorgeous flares. This is tricky. Goes up to a handstand, has to come right back down. Very nice. Paul actually has a number of elements that he's not competing here, that he's capable of doing. They wanted to get the U.S. Championships out of the way. He can do something more on horse, high bar, a couple other places. Nice job, that's gorgeous.
Gorgeous is what he's going for, too, as you mentioned.
Absolutely. He is all about the execution.
Even 14 for Judah. Asher Hong, remember how excited he was with that routine on parallel bars. 14.75.
Very good score. I think he was right about that. Day one, yeah, the exact same score.
Yeah.
Day one. And, you know, a guy like Asher Hong, who hasn't had a great competition throughout the whole competition, it's not over for him at all.
Colt Walker up on parallel bars a moment ago. You're talking in terms of trying to make the Olympic team.
Absolutely. We are not even quite halfway through. And you got to remember, there are 4 different competitions. And for each of the athletes on the 6 different events, the first piece of criteria they look at is the top 3 scores from those 4 competitions. So, John, I think you said it at the top. You kind of get a mulligan. Don't want to use it too early, but he has been so solid. Great to see, so well prepared. This entire Stanford team. Double front, hop back, another great routine.
Yeah, you got a team with you, supporting you here. If you compete for Stanford, and some others as well, but a lot of the Stanford guys, 14.85, Colt Walker parallel bars. How about Ian Gunther for what he did? Awfully tough to do that Roethlisberger well, and yeah, 12.9. One more rotation left here in Fort Worth tonight at the National Championships, and that man right there, Brody Malone with the lead. 2.3 is the margin over Coy Young, Frederick Richard. Go down the list. I know Wittenberg, Asher Hong, that competition there, currently in 9th and in 10th. Terry Gannon back with Tim Daggett. All right, so talk to me about Brody Malone, what you've seen tonight. Awfully impressive. Again, night 1 and night 2.
Yeah, he's better tonight than he was in day 1, which is astounding.
Wow.
And, you know, I've seen a lot of amazing athletes that can deal with tremendous pressure. I don't think I know of anybody that has looked this great after such an adversity. It's what a compliment to him.
Well, normally you look at an athlete, they don't show emotion like this. They don't seem like they're feeling the pressure, but inside they tell you, yeah, they really are. He kind of says, no, I'm not, and you believe him. I mean, that's the kind of competitor that he is, and to come back from that injury 15 months ago, just shattering his knee, but on his way perhaps to winning his 3rd U.S. all-around title. Brody Malone about to finish up the final rotation straight ahead as we send it over to John.
Yeah, we talked about at the top of the show the matchups within the matchups here, and we talked about pommel horse and these 3 all-arounders. Who is going to step up? You know who stepped up? Really, Coy Young. You don't see in that average. These are averages so far. Obviously, he's got the lead, but he's got a 15 from today. That is huge, and that is going to be a huge factor. Tim said it. He's got him on the team. If he keeps doing that, he certainly will be in Paris. And then the other matchup we talked about is Donnell Wittenberg and Asher Hong on rings and vault. Here are their averages. And I got to say right now, a slight edge to Donnell Wittenberg because of Asher Hong's troubles night 1 on vault. But again, these two currently are 9th and 10th in the all-around. Their all-around doesn't separate themselves from one another. This right here is what you got to watch as we go through trials, and that'll determine which one of these gentlemen may make that Olympic team.
Time to worry if you're Asher Hong at this point?
Yeah, he's gonna be concerned. There's no question about that. But there are 2 more meets left, and he gets to drop one of those scores. It's just a lot of pressure.
All right, we start here in the last rotation with Coy Young on high bar.
I said earlier, so improved on parallel bars and on this event right here. Just doesn't have errors. Looking for a handstand. That one was a little shy. Probably 3/10. Another one right here. Better. Now his big release right here. Laid out Tkachev. completely stretched over the bar, exactly how you want to do it. Oh. Never a doubt. Coy Young had that incredible breakout first Worlds 2023. Team bronze, silver on vaulting, silver on pommel horse. And he says, I don't just want world medals. I want to be a part of the Olympic team, and I want a team medal in Paris.
It's impressive on TV. If you ever get a chance in person to come to one of these, I mean, he was so high in the air. He's right next to us where we are situated.
Flying, yes, absolutely flying.
Really, what a 6-7 months he's had, from the Worlds to winning the NCAA all-around title, and now here driving towards the Olympics.
Last event of the night for this man, the leader heading into the last rotation, pommel horse for Brody Malone.
I was talking about how Coy has improved so many events. This event for Brody, my opinion, by far his most improved event. A lot of times when you have a leg injury in gymnastics, the first thing you can start doing is pommel horse, and you load up on it. I saw him do a routine a few weeks ago at the Olympic Training Center that was far better than anything I'd ever seen him do. And so far, this is better than he was night one, and he was good night one, but oh, gotta hold on. Fantastic fight. If you're off, you gotta be able to make a correction. He did. Not gonna be the best score, but absolutely, there's your champ.
You sounded worried. He didn't look worried.
No. So he's won 2 titles. He took a year off because of the injury. My book, that's 3 in a row for Brody Malone.
Brody Malone to wrap up his 3rd U.S. all-around title. Oh, look at Dad. Wow. Taking it all in.
I'm a baseball and soccer parent, and I stress out on the field, and I can't imagine being a parent watching gymnastics, the emotions they have to go through. Tim, you did it.
Oh, I did it. Yeah.
But especially, guys, you know, he knows what Brody's been through with that injury and every step of the way coming back and just learning to walk again initially, and then to bring things to the gym, not being able to land, worried about floor, worried about vault, and to see him do this, can you imagine what he must feel?
Unbelievable, and it's not just the physical problems. Brody has had a lot of issues. His mom passed away when he was very young. Stepmom then passed away as well. He's had a rough life, but coming together.
This man's a specialist as well. We saw a couple early in the night. Steven Ederazic, the 25-year-old from Massachusetts, pommel horse specialist and a world champion back in 2021.
And Steven he's just special on this event. Has a tremendous look, as straight of a body as anybody in the world on the circle elements. Has at times struggled with consistency. Beautiful right there. Another one the other way. Oh boy, and that is a mistake. I don't know what they're gonna call that. Gotta hold it together now. That skill is not in the code of points. He was supposed to go back to the middle. Dismount. Very nicely done. He doesn't really break form on it, but that skill is an E-valued skill, which is 5/10 of a point. And I don't think they can call that any move at all. So
it's a fight. It is a fight. Good job. Hopefully it was clean.
Hopefully it was clean, he said.
Oh, it was clean, very clean, except for that one element.
It's his only event of the night. We'll get the number there. 13.55 for high bar. Corey Young.
Trust now, come on. Reach, good job.
All right, remember what John was talking about. Donnell Wittenberg, Asher Hong had competition throughout. In ninth, heading into this final rotation, earlier his floor exercise routine.
And this is a routine where Donnell could help Team USA a lot, and he already is much better than night one. He has 6 passes, and I think he took at least a 3/10 hop on all 6 passes night one. He's got 1 stuck already. You're not going to stick all of them when you do such hard gymnastics like this right here, but he's got 2 of them right now. Got to give Donnell Wittenberg a lot of credit. Has not faltered, done exactly his job. And as I said, yes, vaulting and still rings are the real key routines for him. But if he can put together a solid routine on floor, he's got one of the more difficult routines. I think it's the hardest routine that was done day one. A little bit of a hop on that, but significantly better than he did night one. My opinion, 13-9 was the score then.
7th in the all-around last year at the U.S. Championships, 14-3. Stayed on the scene, just would not give in, wants to make it to the Olympics before the career is over. Nedorozic 14-6, so what was it, 15-4 the first night?
Yeah, and I don't understand. It's like you see that difficulty, 5.7. As I said, he was at 6.4 night one, so that is 7/10 less, and the skill gives him at least 5.
It looks like they were adding it up on that tablet there, Tim, trying to figure out how the judges got to that start value.
Just saw Donnell Wittenberg, who was in 9th. Asher Hong in 10th, heading into the final rotation on high bar.
Ever since he was a little kid, this has been his nemesis. The high bar, so little and so light, it was hard to bend the bar. The gymnast, watch, he's gonna try to pull the bar down and it'll throw him up right there. Nicely done. Another big release right here. Very good. Oh, and this is excellent. I thought he was underscored day one, as I thought Ewell was, and I thought Ewell was underscored again this time, but that right there, that is a huge deduction. More than a half a point. It was 5/10 off for the angle, and he had leg form as well. And a hop back. I'll tell you what, he's been doing this all day long, though. He starts the routines, they're phenomenal. You get towards the end, and he's got a little bit of a hiccup. It's not a disastrous routine at all, but not what he wanted.
Are you talking about fatigue or endurance?
No, I think he's just thinking ahead and not staying exactly in the moment.
The man in 3rd, heading in the final rotation, Frederick Richard. Still rings.
So I talked to Fred at the training camp in Colorado Springs, and I said, you know, I watched your ring routine at the NCAAs, and I thought it was a little distracting because on the strength parts, right here, he holds it, he would then lift his head up. And in my opinion, it looked to me like it could be a little confusing and doesn't look as stable. Not lifting the head anymore. I think it's a good choice. So hard to hold those strength parts when you're so exhausted. Fred's not in the best shape that he's ever been in, but he will be. I'll tell you, there's something going on for Team USA. They got the bronze in 2023, and I'll tell you, they look every bit ready to do that at the Olympic Games. And what they say, all of them, Fred included, says, we just got to put some pressure on the Chinese and the Japanese.
Yeah, 2023 at the World Championships, and you got that leader here tonight in Brody Malone as you look ahead. Parallel bars, final event for Yul Moldauer. Trying to keep it going. Much better night 2 than night 1.
He could make a big jump in the standings here too. 8th coming into this event. He could get as high as 4th place with a hit routine.
He made the finals in the World Championships 2023 on this event. Didn't have the best routine. Look at that though, so hard. Another really challenging routine. Oh boy, great fight. Was definitely a little bit off on that. This is a very unique skill that he's going to show right here. Not too many people do that. A lot of people do it with their legs bent in a tucked position. Just the dismount. Got to be tired. Long week.
Doesn't look tired, Tim.
Apparently not.
Doesn't look tired, doesn't look injured. Looks like he could start another meet right now.
6 routines for 6 for Yul Moldauer tonight, and I don't think I've seen him look this strong on all 6 events. He had so many sticks, just unbelievable performance.
Asher Hong 12.45, yeah.
And once again, you know, it was a pretty good routine, but then he just opens the door. And on certain events, they've been critical.
14.3 the number on rings for Frederick Richard. They're trying to crunch the numbers too. Figure out what's what and the why. Moment ago on pommel, Shane Wiskus in 4th heading into this rotation.
And Shane has also gotten much, much better.
This man kind of making a statement here this week.
Absolutely, and you can use Shane Wiskus at the Olympic Games on every event. He does not have a weakness. Got to keep the emotions in check. When he was younger, he would get a little bit tight on pommel horse. Perfect so far. Oh boy, couple of leg deductions on that skill. But overall, very nice job from Shane Wiskus. Yes, he can be better, but that's 6 for 6 tonight.
You hear those teammates, I mean, through the entire thing, you heard them, through the entire routine. $13.7 the number. Even 8 for execution.
Yeah, 10th better than he did night 1, so boy, did he have a great competition today.
How about Moldauer? 15.4 for parallel bars.
That's a very big number.
Sure is.
Same thing he did night 1.
Thanks for tuning in. Again, I want to thank my family, my gym.
And now Colt Walker getting set on high bar to close things out. This was earlier in the week.
So when they were warming up on the podium, Colt was up, and I thought he was doing a dismount, but he was doing one of those major releases. And his coach, Tom Galimi, told him, you got to drag through the bottom even more on this release. And so it put unbelievable torque on the bar, and what happened? It snapped. There's a a wire cable in the middle now, so it doesn't completely fall down.
Yeah.
But
can't be a good feeling.
Time to make some more rings.
yeah,
That's right.
what's the deal with Stanford and broken bars? It's a great routine for Colt. Got a lot of big releases, and he's capable of doing it, a couple of them in combination. Here we go, though. First one. Beautiful. Another one, double back over the bar. It's called a Kovacs. Really good. So he's capable of putting two releases together right here. Looks like he had decided beforehand not to do that. A big hop forward, but also another fantastic day for Colt Walker.
Man, it was in 5th place heading into the final rotation. Walker closing things out here. Night 2 at the National Championships.
It helps to be able to compete with just about your entire team.
It's got to, right?
Yeah, Stanford has won 5 NCAA titles in a row.
But the night and the week belong to that man, Brody Malone. Sorry to interrupt there. We surprised you, I think, right here. National champ again. The 2024 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships is brought to you by Core Hydration. Whatever wellness journey you're on, you have to start somewhere. Start at the core. By Nike, introducing the Nike Air Max DN, featuring dynamic air. The next generation of air technology is here. Air Max DN, feel the unreal. By Prevagen. And by Xfinity. Stream sports from the best seats in the house with Xfinity, because it's only live once. So it is Brody Malone who wins his 3rd U.S. all-around title, this time here in Fort Worth. Frederick Richard comes in second, a little more than 2 points back. Coy Young rounds out the top 3. And how about the numbers for Malone and Young tonight?
News alert. So if Brody Malone and Coy Young got the scores that they got today, they would have placed ahead of the world champion at the last World Championships, Daiki Hashimoto. Malone would have gotten the gold, Young would have gotten the silver, and Mr. Daiki had to settle for bronze.
Pretty impressive as we send it over to Zora.
I've got Brody and Coy here. They were just going over their scores. They wanted to see what they got. Both you guys pleased with what happened today?
Yeah, very much.
Brody, let's start with you. What a year. The injury, the journey to heal, now a 3rd U.S. championship. What's the satisfaction of this win for you?
I mean, it means so much, but I got to give credit where credit's due. This was all God, man. Just the comeback this year, and I just really put my faith and trust in him, and he helped me get through all of it. And here we are. So I'm just super grateful for him for that.
A bit of news for both of you. So those scores that you were looking at, if you would have gotten them at Worlds, you would have got a gold medal. Look at those reactions. What does that say, Coy, about where Team USA is at right now?
I think that just goes to show how much work we've put in over the past 3-4 years. I mean, I was at Worlds last year, and we got a bronze with Fred Richard and the all-around, and I think that motivated us all as a country to push and keep pushing, and I guess here we are now, ready to face the world at the Olympics.
What are the expectations that you have, not just for yourself, Brody, but for the entire group moving forward?
I mean, just moving forward, we want to get on the podium. That's our goal. We're getting on the podium in Paris. And I think we've done a great job so far of setting ourselves up for that. We just got to finish the job.
A lot of energy from everyone today, specifically Yule. He was pumped at everything. How much do you all feed into when you see other people getting hyped?
I love it. I mean, I saw Yul finish a routine early in the meet, and I saw him hyping up the crowd, and it just brought a smile to my face. So seeing him hype up the crowd just brings me more energy, and it makes me want to give it right back to everyone else. So I just love it all.
Great job this weekend, guys. See you at trials. Terry?
Dora, thank you. So it is Brody Malone, the champ, tonight's best seat in the house. Highlights presented by Xfinity. On his way to being one of the best in the world? I mean, absolutely, right?
Absolutely. He's only going to get better. Every day is another day that he'll get a little bit stronger. He told me he might lose the brace, might help his line a little bit, but oh man.
Xfinity keeps gymnastics fans in the zone with a connection you can rely on. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity because it's only live once. 21, 22, now in 2024 with his dad watching at the end, knowing everything that Brody Malone has been through to get back to this point, taking it all in the house tonight here in Fort Worth. So each apparatus, the top scores, Frederick Richard on floor, then Arazik Pommel, Diab on rings, Koy Young vault, Moldauer, and then high bar, it is Brody Malone, where he won a world championship a few years ago. Pretty impressive, and we still got the Olympic trials ahead where they're going to pick a team eventually, and then we'll see them compete in Paris. That does it for the men's competition. Remember, you can watch all the routines at the USA Gymnastics YouTube channel after the broadcast. For Tim Daggett, John Roethlisberger, Zora Stevenson, our entire NBC Sports crew, I'm Terry Gannon saying so long for now from Fort Worth and the Xfinity US Gymnastics Championships.